Turning now to Afghanistan, where U.S. forces have suffered their deadliest day in 3 years. At least 9 Americans were killed and 15 wounded in a fierce day-long battle with Taliban militants along the northeastern border with Pakistan. Insurgents launched their attack on the Americans' remote base before dawn, firing machine guns and rocket-propelled grenades. U.S. forces responded with artillery, fighter jets, and Apache helicopters. There are reports that dozens of Taliban militants were killed in the fighting. Word of the deadly attack comes amid talk of the U.S. redeploying troops who are now on the front line in Iraq. NBC's chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel joins us now from Baghdad with more. Richard?
Good evening, Lester. In this one attack, more U.S. troops were killed today in Afghanistan than so far this month here in Iraq. U.S. commanders here say the troop surge has been successful, but now there are calls for a surge in Afghanistan and questions about what that would mean for troop levels here in Iraq.
The U.S. troop surge in Baghdad, which began in 2007, is now over, with the last surge brigade rotating out next week. At its peak in 2007, there were 170,000 U.S. troops in Iraq. Now there are 145,000. According to U.S. and Iraqi officials, the surge worked. Violence is down about 75%. If it stays down, U.S. commanders say there will be further reductions. Estimates range from dropping to 125,000 by the end of this year. One study calls for as few as 50,000 by next spring. Commanders in Baghdad today refuse to speculate.
General Petraeus will take a look at the conditions on the ground and then make recommendations up the chain of command for further reductions.
But success in Iraq may mean U.S. troops don't go home for long, but on to Afghanistan, which is now a deadlier war than Iraq. In May and June, 52 coalition troops were killed in Iraq. 69 died in Afghanistan. In 2003, there were just 10,000 U.S. troops in Afghanistan, and the Taliban seemed defeated. Today, there are 32,000 troops there, and increasingly direct calls for more.
The head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Admiral Mullen, has indicated that we need troops in Afghanistan, but he has no troops to send to Afghanistan.
Commanders in Afghanistan have long complained that resources have been diverted to Iraq and that militants in Afghanistan, their attacks have become more sophisticated and more aggressive, Lester.
Richard Engel in Baghdad. Richard, thank you.